You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show.
That is right. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV, America's Got Talent. I am your host, Nick Cannon. Joining me, as always, is
Howie Mandel.
That's right. Thank you so much for coming. Let's start off with a bang, a big booty bang. BWOTY was back. Christoph brothers unfortunately hurt themselves. They were gone tonight, but hopefully they'll come back next week. Howie pulled his wild card, Red Panda, to replace them. Then we start off the show. Tone the Chief Rocka comes back. They start with what I think was an amazing show. They come out and they're in choir robes and they have an organ and they're doing it up like they're in church. They turn around, Booty starts. They yell remix. It's a remix of Booty. It was amazing. Kevin!
Daniel, I'm going to have to say this. Most of the time when we screen America's Got Talent before we come out, you sit there just quiet, little monotone, comments here and there. But not when Tone the Chief Rocka came out. Daniel, you nearly bust a blood vessel, man.
You did.
You jumped up like a kid in a candy store, did like 6 backflips, and even had an orgasm on the floor watching Tone the Chief Rocka. It was amazing if you can picture all of that happening simultaneously. But Daniel, I gotta hand it to you. These guys, they know how to entertain. They know how to put on a show. As ignorant, as ridiculous, as dumbfounded I am watching this, I am entertained.
And here's what I'll say. During that, Kevin told me a story about when he saw tag team. Then him and I started to sing tag teams.
Back again. Check it, direct it. Let's begin.
Together. And then we started singing Black Sheep. And I realized these are all one-hit wonders that we still remember 20 years later. That's what Tone the Chief Rocka is. We'll remember him forever. Red Panda comes out, performs. She's okay. That's right!
Wow. Look at that with the robes. They went to church.
They went to church.
Hallelujah.
How can you not be excited for this?
In the name of Booty, I bless you.
Man,
Oh, wow.
if his hype man ever goes away, I will hype for him. Red Panda comes out. She did the same thing she always does. She puts the bowls on her knees. Granted, she only had 1 week to practice this, but it was the same thing that she always does. It was still talented. She dropped a bowl and, okay, kept going. But to me, it's the same thing. It's amazing. It's incredible, but it's the same thing. Kevin.
Absolutely agree. Don't want to sound redundant, but she definitely needs to switch it up. It's incredible talent. It's, the fact that she's balancing on a unicycle while doing this shows a little bit of a danger effect, but I would like to see her just add something up. Like maybe put some noodles in the bowl and eat them while you flip it up or something.
Right. Or use both feet. Something, that'd be crazy.
Exactly.
But something different.
Exactly.
So it was okay. They said it was okay. That's fine. Then we have Angela Hoover, who is a comedian and an impressionist. To me, she's an impressionist. She's not a comedian.
Yeah.
I don't think her material's that funny. She has some good impressions. She spent a little too much time on Ariana Huffington, which, who cares?
Who cares?
And then you continue, and then I will talk about what Howie said.
I think that her material was really dead. It took her, she was not funny or interesting until she started doing her impressions. And as a comedian, you have to have material. You have to be funny without the impressions. Now, you are an impressionist. I get that, but you got to have funny material that ties everything together. I don't want to have to sit and watch you and wait a minute until you do an impression to actually hear some laughs. But she's talented. I love the impressions. If she could find a way to write good material, incorporate that with the impressions, she would be the bomb.
Correct. And Howie said that you are the best impressionist out today.
Whoa.
That upset me.
Whoa.
I was offended for other impressionists. She's good. She's really good. But we've seen maybe 10 impressions that she's done. Bill Hader has done 1 million, and he's insane. Ralph Garman, James Adomian. There's some incredible impressionists.
Yeah.
Maria Bamford, and that just upset
Jay
me.
Farrell.
Yeah, there's a ton. So it just, whatever, but that's his own opinion. And we'll see. I don't think she'll move on, especially, and we'll get to him, but when Taylor Williamson came out, he killed it. So let's move on to Duo Residents. They came out. It was beautiful. It wasn't the most amazing and entertaining show, but it was beautiful. Kevin?
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. It was very beautiful the way that they were interacting with one another. And I have to say, the dude in Duo Resonance, I forgot his name, but he was doing some incredible stuff on just one hand. Like, he was balancing his whole body on one hand, moving around on one hand. That alone was captivating to me. But other than that, the performance was just beautiful. It was just, you just wanted to throw some rose petals on the performance because it was that beautiful.
Right. Let's move on to Collins Key. Collins Key, magician. He wasn't as good as the last time we saw him, but it still was good. It was one of those things where you think that the girl he did a trick with, he pulled her out of the audience, quote unquote random. She could be in on it. It could all be set up. Do you know how they did that? Because I don't. You can have theories and whatever, but it looked like he did a really good job. And it wasn't as good, but I think that his past performances could carry him over.
See, the problem was when you do a trick like that where you engage the audience and you pick, the thing is when you do something like that, you have to make sure that it does not look staged. And in the way that he went about doing this, first of all, it started off kind of confusing. And then once he did get the girl and brought her up there, it just really looked staged. You're thinking to yourself, is this really magic? Is he really just doing this at the spur of the moment, or is it staged? And it was funny at the end, they asked him, do you know this girl? And she was like, oh no, I've never seen him. Like she was acting. So the thing is, I just really couldn't tell whether or not it was authentic or not. But if it was authentic, that trick was good as hell.
Absolutely. I am getting some feedback from Corey, who can't be here tonight. She says, Panda sucks, but good blah. Angela Hoover, almost no one knows Ariana Huffington. She sucks. Speaking of things sucking, I wasn't a big fan of the movie Paul Blart. It was good. It could have been better. He wrote a segue. Speaking of segues, Serial Buddies is a great movie. You should check it out on iTunes right now. You can rent it for $40.99. You can buy it for $5.99. There are amazing people in it, great actors, great comedians. Speaking of iTunes, go to iTunes. Please rate us. Put comments, listen to us, enjoy us, go to YouTube, talk to us. Sometimes we check out YouTube and we will write back to you and we want to chat. You guys are all lovely people. Speaking of lovely people, Innovative Force Dance. It was a bunch of girls doing flips and acrobatic. It felt like a cheerleading contest to me. Howie even said that it felt like cheerleading. They're good at what they do, but what they do to me isn't that great. Kevin.
Yeah, to me, it was like if you incorporated contortionism into cheerleading, into gymnastics. Basically, if all three of those came together and had a baby, that would be Innovative Force. And, what they were doing by all means necessary was very interesting, the way they were bending their body parts and things of that sort. But to me, it just didn't have that wow effect. It didn't have that, it wasn't one of the best acts of the night. It was talented, it was outstanding, but it wasn't wow.
I agree. I think that when you get them with other acts, they're going to get blown away.
Yeah.
Next, we have Dave Fenley.
Yeah.
He was great. I thought personally he came out and did Spice Girl song, and to me it proved that he can take any song and make it his own because he did it a completely different way. It was good. I like it. He beatboxed in the middle. It was risky. I thought he was good at it. He made it work, and he owned it for him. Heidi, blah, 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 and then Howard said that it was bad. He did a bad job, but who cares? Kevin?
You know what's bad? Howard's perm is bad. At any rate, Dave Finley
was better than that.
It was way better than that. Thank you. Well, kind of. I'm classically trained at beatboxing. At any rate, no, I'm not. But Dave Finley was incredible. The fact that he took a risk with trying to beatbox. See, first things first, you know, when you get this late in the game, you have to step it up. And sometimes that does mean taking risks, doing things outside of the box. And I thought that's what that beatbox totally stood for. I wasn't expecting it, and he came in and he was good. I was like, somewhere Dougie Fresh is looking like, man, I need to call Dave Finley and get some lessons. But Dave Finley knocked it out of the park. He incorporated the guitar and the beatboxing, and I was like, dang, this boy is good.
Yeah, I thought he was great. I definitely would like to see him next week. We'll see what happens, what America thinks. Moving on to Taylor Williamson. To me, he was incredible. He was top 3 tonight. He's great. He's hilarious. Every time I've seen him, he's really funny. And I love the fact that he came out and he was mocking Heidi for saying such dumb things. That is chutzpah, as we say in the Jewish culture. That is
I have no idea what that
huevos.
means.
Having huevos.
Huevos, isn't that eggs in Spanish?
He had the testicular fortitude to make fun of Heidi, and I thought that was great. He was mocking her for the stupid things she said, and then he came out and he had some great jokes, and she was like, because that's what Heidi sounds like. Everyone else thought he was great. To me, he's incredible. He's one of the best stand-ups I've seen in a long time.
This is the thing with Taylor. He is a very funny person. His character is hilarious. But to me, his comedy tonight, his actual material did not blow me away. It was funny. But I did not think it was as hysterical or as hilarious as some of the other people thought. I just think that him as a person, he's funny as hell. He's somebody that, like, if he's more funnier a lot of times when I think he's just bantering back and forth with the judges afterwards than his actual routine. And I think that's because he's a naturally funny guy.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think he'll definitely go on because America could see he's funny as hell, but I just don't think his material was that hysterical.
And that could still get him far. Jimmy Pardo is a stand-up comedian. I think he's very funny. I'll be honest, a lot of his jokes aren't amazing, and he even admits that he's not a great joke writer, but he's an incredible guy. His podcast is hilarious. He's a really funny guy, and I feel like that could be Taylor too.
Yeah. By the way, Kaori just sent in another text. She put, "Holy crap, Collins Key," and she put "very creative," and I can't say that word on here.
It was creative. It was okay. It's still, I don't know, it lacks something, but I liked it. Jonathan Allen, opera singer, he was okay. He showed his range. His range was okay. He's an incredible singer. It was a little bit boring, and knowing that Forte is coming up, that we just thought it's not amazing. And we'll get to Forte in just a minute. But I just thought he was okay. Kevin!
You know, it's kind of hard to rave about how great this guy is when we have Forte coming up. But I'll say this with Jonathan. I think Howard said it best. We all know Jonathan's a great singer. He has incredible vocal range, but tonight he just did not knock it out of the park. And when you're going up against Forte, you bring your A game, all right? I mean, you bring every trick in the bag.
You bring your A+ game.
Yeah, A+ game, exactly. I mean, exceedingly and abundantly above A+. Taylor, Jonathan, love the guy, great voice, didn't knock it out of the park, but he definitely will go on and do amazing things in life.
Yes. Now, shooting over the wall, we have Catapult. Get it, Kevin?
Yeah, I do get it. I'm sorry,
right.
I just had a
He'll
Heidi
get it
moment.
soon. It's
Get
fine.
it? Get it?
Look, I didn't bring up a trebuchet. You would have been here for an hour. Anywho, we had Catapult, and they were good. Their story wasn't as good as last week, but they were good. And the one thing the judges didn't mention, and no one did, they only had a week to prepare this. They performed last week, so they had 1 week to prepare this. It was good. It wasn't near the best that they've done. So we'll see if America has faith in them. If they go on, they'll have to definitely step it up.
Yeah, Catapult Entertainment is incredible. Last week, I mean, I honestly thought last week they were one of the top 3 acts in the whole competition. They blew it away last week with the story that they told through their, through their movement, body movement, and it was emotional. It got someone like me to get tears, and I don't get very emotional. I mean, I'm a dude, that's how we are.
Sure.
Well, I'm a dude that's in touch with my feminine side, but that's a whole nother story. But at any rate,
I'm not touching that.
yeah, please don't. don't. But no, at any rate, they're incredible. And I think the unfortunate thing is when you blow it away like that and you're that dang magnificent, the expectation level for you is so high. And even though they were outstanding tonight, they were not what they were last week. And I think that ended up hurting them. But I still hope America votes them through because they're an incredible group. And if they had longer than a week to prepare, they would have knocked it out of the park.
I agree. Cammie Bradley did an Elvis song. I'll come out and admit it. I like the UB40's version better than Cammie Bradley. She was okay. It was a little boring. She's a great singer. But at this point, that alone won't bring you to the next level. And that's why I think Dave Finley at least did something different. He stepped it up. She didn't. It was okay. She may get voted through because America may like her. She's a cute girl who can sing. But we'll see. I personally thought she was okay. Come on.
Yeah, maybe Cammie should have B-boxed tonight, and murdered that, but who knows? As far as Cammie Bradley's performance tonight, it kind of just reminded me of one of Taylor Swift's ballads where she's just sitting there on the stage playing a guitar. It's cute, it's good, but it's nothing that's outrageous. It's nothing that blows you away. And her performance tonight was just cute. And that's it. She didn't really take any risks. Vocally, she didn't, there was no surprise element. It was just cute. So she's a good singer, but you have to be more than just good this late in the game.
Now, Forte. Let's slow it down a bit. So far, tonight's show has been brought to you by crack cocaine. Tonight, right now, we're going to haul it back a little bit and just talk about Forte. Forte won the competition for me tonight. They won the entire season. They came out and they did the song. I forget, what's the name of the song?
Unchained Melody by Righteous Brothers.
Correct. Thank you. They came out and they did it, and they're doing it in Italian. And we have the two guys that originated in Forte coming out, and they're singing, and it was amazing. And they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They have the third member in the shadows, and they're ramping it up. And then this guy comes busting in, and it's just incredible. And to me, each one of them was better than Jonathan Allen tonight, separately. You put them together, it was incredible. There was no flaws. I loved it. I like opera. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not huge on contemporary. I would go see them. I would pay to go see a full show. If they don't win, they'll get a show on Broadway doing the classics in a week.
Clearly.
They were incredible. I loved them so much. Kevin.
Daniel, I couldn't agree with you more. It's funny. Under my notes for Forte, I put one word. If you can see it, it says damn in big caps. That's what I felt about their performance. I mean, I talked earlier about being in touch with my feminine side. When Forte came out and was belting away, I didn't just have chills in my spine, but my panties got wet. No lie, all right? And as disturbing as that sounds,
yes, it does.
That's the effect that they gave. I mean, goodness gracious. And I mean that in the most heterosexual way. These guys are phenomenal. I'm not even really into opera. I respect the arts. I respect musical theater, especially as a major, but I would go and see these people in a heartbeat. I would pay $75, $100, $200 to go and see these people live. They are incredible. America, if you do not vote Forte in as a winner, then you need to get your ears checked, okay?
Something's happening.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, there they are.
Oh, my goodness.
Forte.
Oh, my goodness. Incredible. Incredible. I mean,
it's like, see, my favorite thing is progression. And then
no, listen to the harmony.
They're doing great. And then boom!
Boom!
It's over.
I was done.
It's over.
I was done.
It's
After
over.
that, they could have dropped their mics and left.
Forte
It is done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I wanted
watch, they don't get voted through tomorrow.
If they don't get voted through, I am moving to Antarctica because that's how I feel.
That's it.
That's it. The show is done. The show is done.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
You can find me. We're not even going to do predictions. We got to go on this note.
KevinJohn.com.
Kevin John, Daniel Weiss, Steve in the booth, Corey Taki on the text message. Thank you and good night.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.